So, Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater was announced at the PlayStation Showcase 2023. The first thing here is the name Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which is kind of weird because Delta is the fourth letter in the Greek alphabet. Also, Delta means change, so they're probably gonna do some changes. So, I don't know what they're trying to imply here, but let's move on. At first, when I saw the teaser, I was very hyped. I was screaming and jumping all over the room. I got the adrenaline rush from the announcements that I have not felt in a long time. Finally, after 8 years of waiting for a proper, good Metal Gear game, and after all hope were lost with Metal Gear Survive, finally, we get an announcement of a remake to one of the best Metal Gear games of all time. The remake is called Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. It has been officially announced, and it's now coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC. No release date has been announced, but I think the game will be coming at the end of 2024. We don't know who is the developer for it. There was a press release at Konami websites by the development team with no mentions of the name. However, rumors suggest that it has been developed by Virtuous Game, which is located in Singapore, and one of Konami's seniors developers is working with them, so I don't know much about that, but hopefully it is what it is. To be honest, I wasn't surprised by the announcement. There was a lot of rumors in the internet about MGS3 remakes for years, although I consider them as nothing but shots in the dark by these people who are spreading these rumors, and it finally got a hit. At first, I was against the remake, as the game did not need it. Simple remaster will suffice. Plus, there are other Metal Gear games that are worthy of being remaked, like Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. However, after thinking about it for a while, it made so much sense that they would go with Metal Gear Solid 3, as it is the first game in the story and pretty much the beginning of the saga. It is a great way to introduce the series to the young and the new audience, and maybe they will start remaking other Metal Gear games like Portable Ops and Peace Walker. What we got here is a teaser. It's a short one, doesn't show much, which is very disappointing, especially for a series that has been known for its top-notch trailers that makes you hyped for months until the next trailer release. Sure, I'm not gonna try to compare it to the infamous 14-minute Metal Gear Solid 2 E3 2000 trailer, but I was hoping for something close to the Kojima style kind of a trailer that makes you want more and more. The style that makes you analyze every frame and every pixel looking for details that helps you ease the waiting for the game. Instead, we end up with a very bland teaser with an awful camera direction and bland art style. It feels so cheap. It is like it was fan-made. It lacks the weight of what makes Metal Gear trailers so great. And I know this is a teaser announcement and I should wait for a proper trailer showcasing the environment, the gameplay, the graphics, and the overall changes that they will be doing to the game. But I can't help but to voice my opinion about my first interaction for a game that we have not seen any good news to in about 8 years. There were pictures that was released on Konami's website. They look bullshots because I don't think there are any games that reach this level of IQ yet. You can easily tell some of the areas in these pictures. You have the beginning area where you can get your backpack, you have the infamous bridge, and you have the lake that you cross with Crocs in it, and here is the Razvat area where you meet Sokolov. All of these looks familiar, and this brings me to my next point. Since this is a remake, there is one thing that I want to clear up first. Remakes are a golden opportunity to fix some of the issues that the original game have, and also add some content that has been cut from the game due to either time constraints or the technical limitation of the hardwares at that time. I am not interested in a one-to-one remake. I do not want to see a repeat of Twin Snake situation where the remake did no changes whatsoever, which severely impacted the entire experience and pretty much killed the charm and the design genius of what the original game had. If that's what they are trying to do with MGS Delta Snake Eater as a one-to-one remake to MGS3, no, thank you, I would rather enjoy the original experience instead. I hope Konami will deliver with the game and not cheap out on it, and I hope they will do the game and fan justice, just like how Capcom was able to do with Resident Evil. I hope they will make the necessary changes to the remake that will improve the game and fix the issues that the original game have. Don't get me wrong, Metal Gear Solid 3 is an amazing game, but not without its flaws. It has some glaring issues that need to be addressed and fixed. If it wasn't for the story and the amazing pace that the game had, which carried the entire experience, it is a very mediocre game. One of the things that need to be fixed and improved upon is the camouflage system. The idea is great, but it was not executed very well. It is such a hassle to switch between different camouflage to find the one that works well with areas and terrains around you. Next up that they need to fix is how linear the original game was. The older Metal Gear game has this Metroidvania style to them, where you can explore areas around you and give you an incentive to look around and come back once you have the proper equipments. For example, in MGS1, check out this door. It's a card level 7 door. I wonder what is behind it. I can't open it because the card that I have is a level 6. You get level 7 card from defeating Vulcan Raven. Now, I can come back and check out what is behind that door. And unfortunately, MGS3 lacked this sense of discovery and adventure that the older game provided, which I hope the remake will have it, although I seriously doubt it. Next up is story related, but I hope that we can have more background story about the members of the Cobra unit, like how did the Pain was able to control bees, how the Fear can bend his joints like that, what really happened to the Fury when he went to space, what really happened between the boss and the Sorrow during World War II. I hope the remakes will expand on these characters, but maybe expanding on that will make things worse from a lore perspective. That's the things that I wanted to be fixed and addressed. Now let's talk about the things that I want to see in the remake. Hideo Kojima was an ambitious man. He had so many ideas for various Metal Gear games that had to be cut due to time constraint or technical limitations, like we said earlier. Even Kojima himself acknowledged that only 60% of his ideas make it to his games. For MGS3 alone, he had hundreds of ideas for the game. Many of them had to be cut due to the PS2 disc having no space. Here are some of the things that Kojima had to cut from the game. There were supposed to be 2 extra boss characters that had to be cut. They called the Lizard Guy and the Moss Man. He wanted to add day and night cycle in the game, and the enemy density is affected by that. Plus, animal species you capture will be different compared to the time of the day, and bosses will have different attacks and behavior depending on the time of the day you fight them. He also had over 100 camouflage design ready, but only half of them made it to the game. Plus, there was a feature that allowed you to paint your own face camo, but it was scrapped due to how awkward it is. Also, Kojima wanted to add vehicles for Snake to use to cross areas that cannot be crossed easily on foot. As you guys can see, Metal Gear Solid 3 had so many great ideas, but unfortunately it did not make it to the game. I would love to see these ideas be implemented into this game in some shape or form, now that we have the budget and the technical resources for them. In the end, I hope Konami will deliver with the remake, and I can't wait to see how things will be going. This is Konami's chance for redemption. If Capcom can redeem themselves after they almost went bankrupt in 2013, Konami can do it. It's just a matter of Konami wants to gain the trust of the fans or not. Konami also announced the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Vol.1, which include Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, and Metal Gear Solid 3. Both MGS2 and MGS3 were removed from the digital storefront back in November 2021 due to the copyright issues that the two games have. Half a year later, and during the 35th year anniversary of the series, Konami promised in a tweet that they are working to bring these games back. Now they have finally announced the collection and set to be released at the end of the year. Now we can finally enjoy these games on modern hardware and PC. However, there are one thing that I'm wondering, which is MGS1. Are they gonna remaster the game? Or is it gonna be emulated just like the Castlevania Anniversary Collection? We can be sure that both MGS2 and MGS3 will be using the HD collection releases with higher 4K resolution, but we do not know much about MGS1 and which version will it be. Are they going to use the original PS1 version with emulation, or they end up porting the PC version? I hope it's not the latter. Also, one more thing, notice the name Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Vol.1. Will there be Volume 2? Will it have Metal Gear Solid 4 in it? Will Metal Gear Solid 4 finally break from the prison called PlayStation 3? What other games Volume 2 will have? Portable Ops? Peace Walker? Rising Revengeance? We're gonna have to wait and see. In conclusions, I'm cautiously optimistic about the remake and more hyped about the Master Collection. I hope Konami will try its best to gain the trust of the fans again, and they have started doing that with the Silent Hill announcements last year. Things are looking great at Konami's road to redemption, and let's just hope they will stick to the road and not go to a bumpy one. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.